Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. My shirt ripped. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. GrumpyCat and 4chan as well. Everyone say hello to Dashie. Hello, Dashie. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. And then become a member. There's lots of perks. And then Wraithax.eth domain name up there. So there's a couple of things to go over. I guess we'll start off with the 4chan token. They have raised about a couple $1,000s, just because, again, there are no devs behind that project. It's completely community driven. So they take donations in order to, oh, hey, here's our war chest in order to go get on exchanges, in order to go get X, Y, and Z. We are doing a giveaway for 4chan. That'll be tomorrow on my channel. That'll be on Tuesday. It'll be 6 June. I'm not sure what time yet, so I'll let everyone know on Twitter. Link down below to that. GrumpyCat, there's a spaces going on right now with Slumdoge, Borvik. There's like, I don't know, 800 people on there. And they were talking about GrumpyCat. And they were talking about how, hey, guess what? The SEC decided to go and say, yeah, they're going to sue Binance because reasons. And they also said that Ethereum was left conspicuously absent, but they had said ADA, BNB, Sand, so Sandbox is Sand, Decentraland's Mana, and like 6 other things were like, yeah, you know what, you guys are securities, even though they're not. They're just saying that. I don't think the SEC has won any meaningful case in the years that crypto has been alive. Again, I said meaningful. Library does not count. Some things that are left conspicuously absent was ETH, so I don't know what's going on with that, which is fine. But then you also had OMI, which was left absent, and then they were talking about GrumpyCat on Spaces. They were talking about this, and there was like, listen, we're good. Again, GrumpyCat does have that tier 1 law firm. They still haven't announced it yet. I don't know what the heck they're waiting on. And then they have, I guarantee you they have exchanges lined up. The reason I know is because I was working with another project, I won't say which one, and I'm kind of learning, oh, hey, this is what exchanges want. This is what exchanges need. And GrumpyCat meets every single one of those tiers and pillars. And it's like, okay, what are we waiting on? I think they're just waiting on the tier 1 law firm to be announced, and then we'll get that. Anyway, OMI was actually up today, outperforming the markets. Why? Because the rest of the market went down. And then what did you see with OMI? OMI, despite not having a ton of volume, decided to go and actually be up on the day. At about 1.8% to 0.0064. The rest of the market was down several percent, but at least in the top 10. OMI chart not looking too bad. I guess we'll go to the whale news as well. My whales, newest whale had gotten, I think, another 2 million OMI, so he's up to 13 million OMI. As soon as Apple had announced their particular their keynote before, and suddenly you see Disney, and you see like the 100-year anniversary. So Bob Iger on stage, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I literally bet someone's like, listen, if Veve's part of this, you know, I'll give you like $1,000. Like, please don't let me have to give $1,000. And I didn't. There was no Veve on there. But Bob Iger was part of the stage, and they were talking about how, hey, look at this. They showed What If. So What If is one of the things with Marvel. That is a series on Disney Plus. But we have a couple of What If drops. We have the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. We have the Zombie Captain America. We have the Captain Carter. These are all part of the What If series. I think there's 1 or 2 more that we might have, and I'm just derping on them right now. Comment down below if you know what they are. And I was like, oh, hey, Disney's going and they're showing, hey, look at this Mickey Mouse that looks strangely, eerily similar to the Mickey Mouse that we have on our lenticular cards. So he's like, yo, Chavez, what do I buy? I was like, well, Platinum Moments. He's like, you got the Platinum Moments. Like, oh, okay. You know how I told you to buy a partner statue a couple weeks ago and it was $2,000? He's like, yeah. Like, well, during this whole thing, we had some guy, again, speaking of whales, called Dubs over on the Twitter that had went on and just bought like 3 of them. Other people FOMO'd in, went up like 15%. I was like, see? He's like, he should have got one. He's like, what else? I was like, okay, well, I know this wasn't mentioned in the live, but the Miles Morales movie just came out, and there's a lot of different things going on with that. It had, looks like it's gonna be, I don't know what it probably $700 million. I think it did 120 million over the course of the first weekend. It might do 8, it might do not. Heck, it might even do $1 billion. We don't know. It was very, very good for an animated movie. Like, it was good in general, but again, it outperformed Guardians of the Galaxy first weekend, outperformed Ant-Man their first weekend. So this year, the only thing that it did not beat out was Mario Brothers, and Mario and all that jazz is completely OG, and this is a new character. So for this to do that, I'm super super bullish on Miles Morales. He has a sub 100 rare. I'm working on him on getting either a sub 100 ultra rare or just an ultra rare in general. And obviously that secret rare is like $12,000, so that's a lot. I'm not advising him to get that just yet. I told him to get GrumpyCat also, but he's like, no, more OMI. I was like, okay, I'll never say no if you want to get more OMI. Other whales, I had a couple of friends of mine yesterday that are bigger whales than my new whale. They had completed the logo set that had dropped yesterday. Actually, the new whale had completed a sub 100 set. One of those whales had completed another sub 100 set, and then one of them had completed a fairly low set. I don't think any of them were sub 100. And then that other whale, I think like the biggest of the whales, had texted me this. He goes on and he shows me that he was actually watching my live stream as it was going on, and says, "Hey, look at this." And he got 14 of those green logos. I was like, oh my God. And one of them was, I think four of them were sub 100. And I was like, wow, that's a lot. So what he actually did was well, I'll save that for another time. But we do have another whale that had commented on my live stream. And the whale yesterday had said, buying a set of logos, meaning all four of them from yesterday, the blue and white one, the green one, the orange one, and then the red one, says buying a set of logos and putting away for young children with $650 in OMI to get 1 million OMI will set a child's future for about $1,500, and it will outperform anything else. And I'm inclined to agree with him. But again, that is just one whale's opinion. Moving on to other news. We have Sean Grasmick saying, I'm up to 17 Lamborghinis now. All I need to do is open a Lamborghini dealership. So people be stacking crazy stuff. There was talk yesterday from Crazy Dan 420. Comment blaze it down below for the 420 reference. And he said, I could start a green logo holders club with 420 rewards for fellow Canadians. I guess it's 100% legal there. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful when communities do that. Again, you had SquidCat. That had gone on and said, hey, anyone that has an ultra rare golden dragon staked or listed for 88,000, he'll give you OMI each month to your OMI address on Veve. And he does. And not only that, but he also, I think once a year, he does this amazing big giveaway where he lets you stay in basically sends you on vacations. Like, hey, there's a $2,000 value. You get this place for a couple days or a week or whatever. And the person who won this past week was very ecstatic about it. So there's lots of reasons for people to do this. There's lots of reasons for people to go and stake that. And also, this is just the beginning. This is just when, near the bottom of the market. I think the bottom of the market was a little while ago. And, we should go up from here. Like I said, Apple's demonstration today of what you can do at Realty, the future is wild. And there's no better time to be alive than right now in 2023, and it's only going to get better, and I'm very excited for it. That's another thing that I wanted to go over. Some people are saying like, oh, all right, so Apple, Disney, major partnership, Bob Iger on stage, sharing the stage with Tim Cook and all that. It's like, okay, yeah. I was like, do you think Apple's going to buy Disney? And I've actually, I've hypothesized on this before, and obviously everyone's like, oh, which one of them's going to buy Veve and OMI? It's like, okay, David has said before when asked about that, it's like, I don't think Disney could buy Veve. Not that they couldn't, they didn't have enough money. No, I don't. That wouldn't be it. It's just that it's very complicated with all the licenses. So you might need, if this were to happen in the far future, like 10 years from now, you would need someone like Apple or like a multi-trillion-dollar company to go and buy it. That being said, there has been rumors before that okay, Bob Iger he likes to buy things. I really wanted him to buy WWE. But, him getting Fox, him getting Marvel, him getting all these amazing IP under the Disney banner, what better way for him to go out than be the last CEO of Disney and then also having them get acquired by Apple? I don't know exactly if the U.S. government would allow that, whether they consider that a monopoly or whatever. But I think that, if Bill Gates can get away with it, I think that Apple could too. I would thoroughly enjoy that. The Apple headsets that came out, it's $3,500, which is a lot. early next year. But when you have something like that, when Disney showed their stuff, a lot of the Veve stuff would have probably looked really good there. The dev tools are available, I think, as of right now. So anyone, including Hero, including and anything like Palm, and of course Veve, can go and take those dev tools, and they could be able to prepare themselves for when Apple launches on early next year, and be like, oh, hey, Veve app, ready to go. I think that'd be fun. Jeremy Padower had gone on and said that he wants our help in locating a couple of things. He says, quote, buy more high-grade vintage Japanese Pokemon cards, Topsun, Meiji, Cardass, Sealdass, Tommy, Scratch, TCG, and Trainer Deck A and B PSA 10. Looking for these two. PSA 10 Trainer Deck A Raticate, $10,000. PSA Trainer Deck A Rattata, $5,000. Thanks. End quote. So these prices have never been paid. All of the sales have been lower than this. The reason why he's offering this is just because the pops are very, very low. They're in the single digits for PSA 10. Like when you go to the PSA pop report, how many there are. So for anyone that has it, you would be getting a record price for this. Comment down below if you're into Pokemon, if you know what this is, or if you don't, and want me to make a video on it, let me know, because that's how I started. Some people get pretty lucky. We have Invisible Digital says, landed the blue and white logo number 52 on the drop, followed by the number 666 secret rare, red, white on the drop. It was incredible. Some people have really good luck. You have, what do you call it? You had somebody the other day on Twitter saying like, oh, I bet you all the influencers, all the Americans got it. I did not get either drop. I'm an influencer and an American. Not that I'm salty about that. I'm glad that, it's going around. That people are spreading the love and everyone's able to get a logo. But yeah, when people online say something like that, that's silly. Like that's really silly. Moving on. So I'll give my good and bad thoughts about this. This is about Cryptoys. Shout out to Cryptoys for going and taking some of their funds, that they had raised in whatever funding round they had, and paying an influencer such as iJustine, that has 1.8 million followers on Twitter, to go and make a video saying, guys, I really love Star Wars, and I'm really excited and I love collecting. I'm excited for Cryptoys and their stuff. They paid tens of thousands of dollars for this, which is fine if they raise, millions of bucks, sure. This is part of the reason why I liked Veve was because they were similar to Tesla in that they didn't market, because there's no need to market. Tesla sells everything that it makes. Veve, for the most part, does the same thing. So there's no real demand problem. Does everyone want more people in there so the bags can pump? Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, also just to get collecting into the world, I think it's really enjoyable, and it's fun. It's a good family. So yes, and eventually they will. David said they did just get the green light to market. But we have been tried and through a the second bear market already, and we're finally just going to be able to start to advertise. Cryptoys that, sure, they tried to get some people from the Veve fam to go and advertise, and then however much they pay them, I don't know, but they're definitely paying iJustine. iJustine didn't just go and do this out of the kindness of her heart. That is a little bit of a red flag. So again, applause to them. It's like, okay, nobody else is marketing, let's market. It could work out really, really well for them, in which she could bring in a lot of people. Or it could be like, hey, we spent a bunch of money on this person to market and it didn't do that much. And, they could try that again and again and again. But that famous Einstein quote, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, literally is insanity. So I'm curious to see where that goes. Comment down below what you think of that. Moving on. The blue and white logo that had 1,111 there is like, oh, okay, if that has that many mints, then we should have 1,021. But we did not. There was more than 90 held back. And the reason why that was because last year at the DCon kickoff party, we were told that we were going to get, everyone that attended will get airdropped, Veve logos. And, that hasn't happened yet. Alex said that he wasn't sure which color it would be, but because that was the one that, again, was the original color we were told, and that was the only one that had more than 90 held back, I think it's pretty safe to assume that that is the one that we have everyone that attended that kickoff party last year will get. Just my opinion. Okay, when does high-hanging fruit become low-hanging fruit? And what do I mean by that? That means that, like, when you have an impossible sale or an impossible item, something that's an impossible mountain to climb, sometimes circumstances change. And, people that would have never sold for that price will now sell for lower. Reminds me of last year when OMI first dropped down. There was like a 2 billion or like a billion OMI sell wall at 0007, something like that. And then somebody came in and scooped it all up because, that's stupid. Spent like over $1 million on that. That person did. And when I go and I take a look at some of the things that I have listed right now that I really did not want to sell, like I had just sold recently Red Skull, sub 100 Red Skull, number 55, really good. And I did that not because I wanted to, but because I do have something that I am trying to do. I don't know if it'll work yet. And it's like, I just got a couple of these Lukes, like the Luke 48 rare and the Luke number 92 rare. It will all become clear after things happen, and then you have some Mighties in there. Black Panther, number 95, Namor, number 75, Spidey 2099, number 89, and then She-Hulk, number 95. These are all the cheapest sub-100s that you could get. And by the way, those Lukes, that is the cheapest sub-50 Luke and the cheapest sub-100 Luke out there. Why? Well, I have something that I'm planning to do. Remember when I had to sell a couple of different things to complete that number 43, the number 43 Luke set? I need to do something similar to try to do something that I probably should have done a long time ago. And I didn't, and it's my fault, but better late than never. I'll let you all know what that is as time goes on. Market Pulse. Okay, so shout out to Rootless Girl, Kelly the Veve Fox, saying, all right, the monthly Veve Market Pulse for May 2023. The number of active wallets were actually down 4% to 25,976, which I was surprised because I figured for Luke Skywalker, everyone would have been like, ooh, gimme. Which I guess there were. 25,000, nothing to sneer at, but it is down from the month prior. Trades, we had 200,000 trades, which is up 43%. We had 21% increase in buyers, up to 14,949, and a 17.5 increase in sellers, 18,676. The amount of tokens minted were 121,300, which was up 36%, and the amount of minters were 18,904, down about 10%. I think a decent amount of these were really from the Hulk, because I feel like that last day everyone was trying to get one, and speaking of which, they did announce the Maestro Hulk. So like I said, we have the original Bruce Banner Hulk, we have Maestro Hulk. What other Hulks are we going to get? We're probably going to get Red Hulk. We're probably going to have World Breaker Hulk, Gladiator Hulk, and then we're supposed to have an airdrop as well. So I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. Comment down below what you think. Veve also doing, I think, a really good job with marketing themselves as carbon neutral, saying there's a common misconception that all NFTs are bad for the environment. On this World Environment Day, we're highlighting why Veve Digital Collectibles are carbon neutral. And obviously, all good things. I feel like Olaf. All good things. All good things. So shout out to Omar Kasaje, who over on Twitter said, I agree with you. I saw this morning a lot of details were shown here for the stories, art, characters, and the meaning of the strength of Spider-Man. I thank Marvel, Agent M, David Yu, and Veve Official. Now, who exactly was he talking about? Agent M is Ryan Penagos, and Ryan Penagos is the Vice President and Creative Executive for Marvel Digital Media, podcaster, host, cameos in Marvel stuff, I guess. I think that's pretty exciting, and obviously a lot more Marvel stuff is going to be coming to Veve. When you have the Vice President and Creative Executive of Marvel Digital Media, that is something that means something. We have Mike Foley, who had come on the Facebook saying, follow me on this. Bob Iger comes back and shuts down Disney Metaverse. 2. At the same time, Disney partners with Apple in a Metaverse environment hardware Apple Vision. 3. David Yu says he's in talks constantly with Apple. 4. Veve continually drops Disney IP without any delay, eating up all the first appearance labels of precious characters and comics. 5. Apple launches Vision Pro powered by Unity, the same engine powering Veve. Although Veve does have Unity and they also have Unreal Engine 5, so it's a mix. That is too many coincidences to think that Veve is behind the scenes, Veve is behind the scenes playing a large role in all of this. Just my opinion though, not financial advice. All right, let me break this down a little bit. Yes, Bob Iger had shut down the Disney Metaverse. Well, he shut down the Metaverse team. And there's multiple theories why. I don't think anyone really knows. Bob Iger, if you're watching this and you want to come on the podcast, I would totally love to interview. I will dress nicely. I will not dress in this thing. I feel like Rocky when he's trying to catch a chicken and he's like, well, it brings luck. And Mickey's like, it brings flies. That's what it brings. Anyway, there are a lot of theories, either that Disney's not ready for the metaverse and they could go and they say like, oh, you know what? Maybe we don't want to be first. Maybe we want to let others be first, learn from their mistakes, and then we can go after that in a couple years. And maybe there's going to be, you know, in the IP branded worlds, maybe Disney's not part of Veve's IP branded worlds for until the next half of the decade after 2025. I don't know. It could just be that the Metaverse team, which was hired by Bob Chapek, maybe just want to get rid of Chapek's guys. Or it could be a combination of anything. Maybe that they don't need to hire that themselves because they did need to make cutbacks. I think he fired like 7,000 people. Maybe he's hiring it out to a third party. Now, what third party could you hire it out to? Well, Cavernous is trusted by so many different companies, including Meta, and Apple today just, I don't know, slapped Meta across the face and told him to, I can't say that, but they told him to do something like 1,000 times. So if you go and you think, okay, if you take Bob Iger's history at being the best at what he does, if you find something that, hey, I can cut down costs from this metaverse team by firing them and hiring out to a third party. I mean, Apple has the funds, Apple has the tech, Apple, like, again, there are so many people that would love to work for Apple, like engineers going out of school. Like that's what you do. That's what you want. You know, you want to be in FANG, in Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Yes, you know, Disney partnering with Apple, I think that does, you know, kind of give evidence to the notion, oh, maybe Apple could buy Disney at some point, and it's possible. David Hughes says he's in talks constantly with Apple. Yeah, that's true. And again, when you have something like Veve that has made Apple tens of millions of dollars over the past couple of years, even though that is nothing, I mean, Apple's what, like a $2.5 trillion market cap? Apple definitely still notices that. It's like, oh, how much money could we make if we do something like this? And then, yes, the power of Unity. Apple launching Vision Pro powered by Unity. It should be pretty easy. Again, we have the dev tools now to go and make something on Apple that does consist of our metaverse. I think that would be fairly easy to do for the people for the right talent. And again, you know, Veve was the most grossing entertainment app. Apple naturally holds some of these developers close. Would make a lot of sense for us to have something there. Also, as a consequence of the thing, you had the Waltz go up, you had the Disney's posters go up, you had a lot of different things go up relating to Disney. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say goodbye to Dashie. Goodbye, Dashie. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow. Sleeping hat. Meow, meow, meow.